Rikers to the city for non-incarceration uses. This is supposed to be a process every 6 months. The mayor is supposed to review what land and buildings aren't being used at Rikers and then transfer that land out of the Department of Corrections control. Mayor de Blasio transferred one jail and 43 acres of Rikers to the city, but Adams has not moved anything yet, and that's a significant and maybe even a symbolic gesture that would indicate that he's committed to closing Rikers.
Matt, you touched on this. If the city or the mayor, Adams or someone else, ignores the law, what's that likely to lead to?
Yeah, I mean, in all likelihood, the mayor would get sued. There's something of a test case going on right now. The Legal Aid Society and City Council are suing Adams for not complying with a law expanding eligibility for housing vouchers, as you know. So we'll see what happens in that case. But I do think that's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. And I will note that the administration just this week did two things to indicate that it is committed to moving forward with closing Rikers eventually. It released two studies looking at the feasibility of turning Rikers into a wastewater treatment facility or a renewable energy hub. I mean, this is what advocates have long wanted, to close all the facilities and find better uses for this island. And the administration also recommitted this week to opening 3 housing units at city hospitals for detainees with medical, mental health, or substance abuse issues. These beds would be for people charged with crimes, so it would alleviate the numbers in the new jails that are opening. And these beds are supposed to all be open by 2027, in time for Rikers closure. Now, it's not enough beds, but it's something. So it indicates some good faith on the part of the administration that they're moving toward this goal that, of course, is set in law.
WNYC's Matt Katz. Matt, thank you. Looking at this council hearing coming up today.
Thanks, Michael.
Support for WNYC comes from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, helping public radio advance journalistic excellence in the digital age. The Knight Foundation believes informed and engaged communities are essential for healthy democracy. More at kf.org.
Staying with the president's State of the Union speech last night, we'll focus on some key economic issues Joe Biden addressed.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab, helping people invest in ideas they believe in with Schwab investing themes, with more than 40 themes to choose from. More at schwab.com. And by UKG. UKG is a partner that delivers HR, pay, time, and culture solutions designed to help build a great workplace for everyone. UKG, our purpose is people.
I'm David Brancaccio. A CBS News poll out this week found only 39% of Americans rate the U.S. economy as good, yet that percentage is up and is the highest rating on the economy in this poll since the autumn of 2021. President Biden addressed economic issues head-on last night.
The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. Wages keep going up, inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in the world, and tending lower.
Fact check. It's most of the developed world. Belgium, the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia are among countries with lower inflation. Biden called out corporations for, in his view, taking advantage of consumers by raising prices unfairly. He also paid extended attention to his efforts to further lower prices for things like prescription drugs. He also called for raising taxes on corporations and the wealthiest of individuals, while not raising tax on families making $400,000 or less. And among new proposals during this time of high mortgage rates, he put on the table a temporary tax credit to assist first-time home buyers. From the other side of the aisle, Republican Senator Katie Britt of Alabama delivered the GOP response, blaming Biden for the inflation that surged as the pandemic eased.
His reckless spending dug our economy into a hole and sent the cost of living through the roof. We have the worst inflation in 40 years and the highest credit card debt in our nation's history.
Britt sees Biden policies as burdening families with high costs of housing and childcare.
Hardworking families are struggling to make ends meet today. And with soaring mortgage rates and sky-high childcare costs, they're also struggling to how to plan for tomorrow.
Katie Britt, Republican Senator from Alabama. For more now, I'm joined by Felicia Wong, CEO of Roosevelt Forward, a sister organization to the liberal-leaning Roosevelt Institute in New York. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, David.
I mean, given public opinion polls, the president might have tiptoed around the economy. That is not what I saw.
He kept coming back to the economics over and over again, and he really showed that his administration has made a fundamental change. You know, he said trickle-down economics is over. That is a big statement.
Now, the Trump-era big tax cuts expire, and Congress will address that in 2025. You saw the president starting to put down some breadcrumbs that would represent a trail toward what the Democrats hope unfolds during what will be a raucous debate over that.
The president went big on taxes last night. You know, he said a fair tax code is how you invest in things, which is super important. And then he said, you know, for folks at home, do you really think the tax code is fair? That's where I think the president was hinting that there's going to be a big fight on taxes in 2025. And he named affordable child care. He named paid sick leave. He named home care and elder care. He really hit all parts of that care infrastructure agenda. So he linked raising taxes on the wealthy and corporations. He linked that to a lot of things that Americans want.
There were some new economic proposals. One of them that stood out for me was help for people with housing. He was talking about a mortgage relief credit for first-time home buyers, $5,000 a year for just 2 years, and then provision to encourage people to sell their starter homes and move up to a bigger home, and that would open up some housing stock. What do you make of that?
The cost of housing is one of the things that really vexes many, many, many Americans. The cost of buying a home, the cost of rent, and housing supply overall. And what was notable is that both of the proposals that you mentioned, which were for first-time homeowners or for people who wanted to sell their homes early in their homeowning career, these were things that were going to get the market going. I think this administration recognizes that housing supply is a big issue. That's what those proposals were targeted at.
Felicia Wong, President and CEO of Roosevelt Forward. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, David. Great to be with you.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Indiana University's Kelley School of Business, developing tomorrow's business leaders through the nationally ranked Kelley Direct Online MBA. Learn more about the Kelley Direct Online MBA's 25-year legacy at iu.edu/online MBA. And by Progressive Insurance. Customers can simplify their insurance needs and protect what's important by bundling home and auto. Learn more about bundling at progressive.com.
Markets